locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I...
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. And listen, we all get to enjoy a peaceful, stress-free Sunday of football. The Dallas Cowboys will not be here to run our blood pressure up, stress her out, or do nothing of the sort because they don't play till tomorrow night. So we all can enjoy and kick back. We can have us a mimosa. If you've been to church and you don't want to get, slaughtered off this liquor, you can have a little bit of communion wine. It's fine. But slide on in, man. We're going to get a little tipsy today on the Dallas Cowboys content. Salute to everybody out there. I see my brother JV B-Boy in the building. My guy Ant to the left in the building. What's up with you, my guy? Miss Matrix. Willie Stovall in attendance. Salute. My boy Elijah Robinson coming in, sliding in, showing love. And, hey, we got a lot to talk about, man, because time is of the essence. The trade deadline is the day after tomorrow. It's 2 days away, man. It's 2 days away. And the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my humble opinion, the Dallas Cowboys have to make a move in order to save their season. I don't think they got enough on the current roster to get to where they want to go. Now, if they just want to go to the top of the draft and, have good draft order and shit like that, they got enough in the clip to do that. But if they really trying to make a run to the postseason, if they really trying to go out here and compete, and get into the playoff hunt and be contenders, they don't have enough horses in the stable to run that race, man. So we got to talk about trades. I know the Dallas Cowboys ain't playing today. We'll discuss a little bit of the Cardinals, right? Because we don't start winning games. All this shit is a moot point. So I will touch on the Cardinals for maybe 2.5 seconds. But everything around this show, man, is really about trying to get somebody in here that can help this team right now, man. Because the Dallas Cowboys need the assistance. They need saving. Salute to Calvin Jefferson sliding into the building too, man. But before we dive head first into the content, the first order of business, I need everybody out there to hit the like button on the page and then hit the share button on the page. The like is to help with the algorithm. The more likes we get on the videos, the more that YouTube is going to push the video to other people. And then the share is just like an open invitation for folks to come in and tap in with me. So hit the like for the algorithm and you hit the share button if you want more folks to come join in on the channel. And if y'all all do that, it'll help the channel grow, it'll help us prosper, it'll help me be able to do more shows and everything else, in between. So I appreciate y'all. And if you're in a giving mood, if you want to tithe today in the liquor store, because it is the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? It is Sunday. If you want to put a little bit in the collection plate, y'all can hit the super chat or y'all can hit the cash app. Now, we ain't got no YouTube Rico and nothing going on like that. Me and Landlord fought that. We been in the clear. We good. We Gucci. We're great to go. But if you don't want to send through YouTube and you want to send directly to me, you can hit the cash app. It's $ Henny the Moore for liquor store. I'm gonna put it in the chat box. Liquor store light fund, cause we is broke. BROKE, all capitals. So boom. So if you want to help an independent content creator, hit the cash app, hit the super chats. Hold on. Ant sent a GOAT trophy for 1,000 jewels. I have no idea how that works, but that is dope right there. How do the jewels and stuff work, Ant? Because I have no idea how that works. But I appreciate you for the support, my brother. He said, might as well forget it, man. Jerry Jones not going to get nobody. We'll see. I ain't gonna say never. Listen, until that fat motherfucker starts singing, I ain't gonna say it's over. But in the meantime, while they out here warming up, cause listen, I ain't saying that the fat lady ain't started warming up. I ain't saying that the fat lady, ain't, gargling and getting her voice ready, but she ain't sang yet. So, there's still a chance. And, while there's still a chance, we got to talk about it. And, we got word that the Dallas Cowboys are definitely trying to look at somebody. Will they pull the trigger is another conversation. But, Jay Glazer mentioned the Dallas Cowboys as one of the teams that he expects to be aggressive before the trade deadline. So I have no idea, if they will, but we got to talk about it because we got to hold out hope, for something to happen. Because listen, this is the worst defense this is probably the worst defense I ever seen in a Dallas Cowboys. At least for the Dallas Cowboys, this is probably the worst defensive unit I've ever seen. And a defense like this needs a pick me up. They need another playmaker. They needed somebody to electrify the crowd. They need somebody to make some splash plays. They need somebody to help them get stops. And we don't have anybody on the roster like that. But in regards to trades and trade candidates and news from around the league, this is all from Rossini. So she reports that the Jets are looking for at least a third-round pick in return for Breece Hall. There are also other reports stating that the Jets are not willing to really trade Breece Hall like that unless they get an offer that blows them away. So while they are entertaining offers for Breece Hall, it's not really something they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And salute the sports junkie in the building, man. If you ain't already went a sub to my guy, showed him some love, tapped in with his page, man, y'all need to go and do that, man. Oh, see, I didn't even see you slide in. I seen Miss Regina Green that slid in. See Nicole that slid in. Salute to everybody that slid into the chat box, man. Appreciate y'all for coming in and showing love to your boy, man. It means a lot. Cause listen, y'all could have been anywhere else in the world this morning. You could have been at church. You could be sleeping in. You could be out that mud doing some household chores, whatever. Y'all took time out y'all Saturday to come, out your Sunday to come tap in with your boy, man. And I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Jay will, baby. For sure this year. But in my opinion, when looking for a running back to bring in for the Cowboys, he ain't got to be better. What's up with you, Queen? I see Queen Cowboy Sports to slid in. Y'all make sure y'all go show us some love. But yeah, man. In regards to like bringing a running back in, they ain't gotta, in my opinion, they ain't gotta be better than Devontae. They just gotta be better than Jadon Blue, right? Because I'm viewing the running back situation the same way that I viewed the wide receiver situation. One of the biggest talking points I had for wanting CeeDee Lamb, to have a running mate, for CeeDee Lamb to have a co-star that he can lean on, was if CeeDee Lamb went down, like that completely altered the way that you could run offense. It completely altered the way that you could perform. It could very well be a death sentence for the season. And because we did have a true 1B, when CeeDee Lamb went down, we were explosive still. We hung 40 up on the Packers. We went and won against the Jets. We were scoring points and staying in games even when CeeDee Lamb was gone. You know what I mean? So I view the running back position the same way. What if Javonte Williams, Lord forbid, what if he has a foot sprain? Or what if he has an MCL sprain? Or anything else along the lines that would hinder him physically or hold him out of multiple games? Do we really trust the combination of Malik Davis and Jadon Blue to carry us if Javonte Williams went down? And we also have to factor in the fact that Javonte Williams has an extensive injury history. So that's why I view it like that. Like, I'm not bringing in I'm not saying the default that we bring in will take Jay Will's job, but what I am saying is that we need better insurance than what we currently have, on the roster, right? Because I cannot trust Jadon Blue, to carry the run game for 5 weeks. I can't trust Malik Davis to carry the run game for 3 or 4 weeks. And I actually like Malik Davis a little bit more than Jadon Blue. I've been very open about that. But, let's continue, because these are just like some trade information before the deadline that's been coming out. So let's see. So the Titans are fielding the most calls on these players: Arden Key, DeMonte Jones, Tony Pollard, and T'Vondre Sweat. I won't know because Phil Maffa's still on IR. And that's the thing. I don't dislike Phil Maffa. I don't dislike Phil Maffa at all. But I can't rely on somebody that's not even medically cleared, to play football yet. Because I would have expected him to have been back. You know what I'm saying? So until I get a clear picture on Phil Maffa's overall health, I can't count on him. So with a hurt guy, when it comes to hurt guys, I act like they're not even there. You know what I'm saying? If you can't suit up, I might well not even count you in. You know what I'm talking about? But I do like Phil Maffa. I just don't know what his health is like. So let's see. Dolphins seeking at least a third in return for Jalen Phillips. Eagles for somebody that are really pushing for him because he does have, Phil Maffa is injured. Phil Maffa is still on IR. What's up, Rogue X? Now, you could argue if he's really hurt. You're right. You could say, hey, he's on IR, but they don't have a spot for him, so they're keeping him there. Like, that could be an argument. That is possible. But Phil Maffa started the season on IR. So I don't know what's going on with him. And like you said, Dr. Dream, maybe they're stashing him. Maybe they don't want to bring him back to next year. Who knows? But until that picture becomes a little bit clearer, I'm gonna have to look for outside help at running back. So let's see. We don't have a third. That's one thing that does bother me. I'm not saying that Jalen Phillips is a bad player or anything like that. I like him. I think he might be a slight improvement over what we have. But the question is going to be, what are you willing to give up for Jalen Phillips? You don't have a third round pick this year because your third round pick was turned into George Pickens. You traded your third round pick to the Steelers so that you could have a super weapon. And I'm fine with that because, that trade has paid dividends. There was not going to be a wide receiver in the third round of this draft that would have gave you what George Pickens has given you. However, when we talk about moving assets around, what would you be willing to give up for Jalen Phillips to come out and help you rush the passer? Would you give up your second round pick for Jalen Phillips? Would you try and give up your fourth round pick and then throw in Jalen Tolbert and Mozzie Smith? Right? Like 2 players and a fourth. Would that work? Ant said a 4th and 2/7. What's up, Star? Star said, Hen, I'm not loving some of these names floating around, and these teams are asking for second and thirds for players not worth it. I saw that. I saw them asking some egregious shit for some of these players. You know what I'm saying? But this is really a seller's market because there's more teams, looking for talent than there are teams actually willing to come off of it. Like, we can talk about Myles Garrett and shit like that. The Browns said they're not moving him. You know what I'm saying? They said they're not moving the boy. Right? That's right down there. When we talk about, the boy over there in Oakland. I keep saying Oakland even though they moved to Vegas. It's a bad habit, I know, but still. But point being, man, most of the guys that we're in love with are not going to get traded. They're very adamant they're not going to move Trey Hendrickson because they're still trying to compete for a playoff spot and they want all hands on deck. They're very adamant they're not going to move Max Crosby. They're very adamant they're not going to move Myles Garrett. Yeah, and listen, they're going to have to make something going to have to happen. You don't want Pollard either, damn. So see, I'm not asking Tony Pollard to come over here and be a superstar though. I'm not asking Tony Pollard to come over here and be my leading rusher. Like, and y'all know me, the only prerequisite for me to want you here, in Dallas is if you're better than somebody that I already got. If you can name the player on my team that they're better than, then I'll go for it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Tony Pollard is better than Jadon Blue. And that's the only prerequisite that I need. He's better than Malik Davis. He's better than Jadon Blue. He will come in and immediately be your running back too, and you'll have a 1-2 punch. I'm not entirely sure that he actually fits what Brian Schottenheimer likes. But he is a veteran back. We have experience with him. We know that he's explosive when he gets to open space. We know that he's a weapon. So, I wouldn't mind, giving up like a fifth or a sixth for TP. And that's fair. That's very fair. She said she ain't watching this year, and that's cool. Jerome Ford. Yeah, because listen, I'm not asking, I'm not asking for somebody on Derrick Henry level. I'm not asking for nobody on, John Robinson level. I'm not asking for nothing crazy. I just need a slight, improvement at the backup running back spot. Tony Pollard is on the Titans. He is on the Tennessee Titans right now. Uh-oh. Hey, we got movement. We got a little bit of movement. So Brandon Laurie has reported the Bengals are now entertaining trade talks around Trey Hendrickson. The Cowboys have called about Trey Hendrickson. There isn't a guarantee he'll be more than a half a year rental, but maybe Jerry justifies paying him, saying he's cheaper than Parsons. So we do have some movement. Like y'all says, deadlines make deals. So we'll see what happens. If they're willing to move him, I'm willing to listen. I am willing to listen. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at this. Hopefully it's true. Let me get this loaded into the page and we'll talk about it for 2 seconds. Who knows? Maybe they saw how good the Ravens looked with Lamar Jackson back and figured they wouldn't be able to win the division now. Who knows? Today, JJ is on. Hell, I wanted Max Crosby too, but The Dallas Cowboys are the only team crazy enough to trade their star pass rusher in their prime. We'll see, Jamie. Don't know if they will, but I hope they do. Hold on, let me get this added in real quick. We'll talk about that for 2 seconds. All right, so this is the report. So Brandon Laurie reported, the Bengals are now entertaining talks about Trey Hendrickson, and now the Cowboys have called about Trey Hendrickson. There isn't a guarantee he'd be more than just a half a year rental, but maybe Jerry justifies paying him, saying he's cheaper than Parsons. Yeah, I saw. I just seen it. That's why I had to stop and add it into the show. As new information comes in, I try to keep it up to date so that y'all know what's going on along with me. So I'd be happy with it. And yeah, I know. Listen, I know that folks wanted Myles Garrett. That shit was never going to happen because the Browns were never going to be crazy enough to move him. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I want y'all to know what the Dallas Cowboys did in moving Micah Parsons has never been done before. There was never a time when an All-Pro of that age was traded away, by their team. Yes, Trey is dealing with a hip problem. Trey Hendrickson has been hobbled with a hip injury. Not sure the severity of it, but this is a guy that has over 30 sacks in the last 2 years. 17 and a half sacks, back in 2023, 17 and a half sacks in 2024. He's funny. So Trey hurt. I ain't talking about coaches. I'm talking about players. There's never been there was like a stat. There was never a player that made X amount of all pros and then was not on the team the very next year. Like Jerry do crazy shit, but I'm just talking about moving players. JV said Trey hurt like Diggs has a concussion. Said Khalil Mack traded at 27, Michael 26. So I guess that was the caveat. I also don't think that Miles. I also don't think he had the amount of All Pro selections that Micah did. Let me go double check that. I like to be factual with some of the shit. Let's see. Okay, yeah, he made 2 All-Pro selections. He had made 2 All-Pro selections, and he had 1 Defensive Player of the Year. I think Micah had made All-Pro all 3 or 4 years. I forget what the fucking thing was. It's been months at this point. Jerry moves with his emotions. He does. He does. Yeah, Khalil Mack was hard as a bitch. I'll never take anything from Khalil. He was hard as a hoe. So these are some more names to watch for. And this was Spotrac. Track. If you wonder what Spotrac Track is, that's the website that keeps track of all the player contracts and everything else. And they have it broke down to what their signing bonus is, their APY, their cap hits. It's a tool that we all like to use around the space, so that we can factor in shit like this. So names to watch at the deadline for the Jets. Quinnen Williams. His brother, the linebacker, Quincy Williams. Edge, Michael Clemens. Running back, Breece Hall, who they Texan for. Tony Adams. Edge, Jermaine Johnson. I'm not even gonna say I'm not even gonna even mention Alan Lazard because he's sort of sorry. He's sort of sorry as hell. Now y'all know, in a dream world, in a dream situation, I would trade for Quentin Williams in a heartbeat. He's an all-pro. He's young. He's in his prime. He's a disruptor. You know, he's equally as good against the pass and the run. And you know, I think he will also bring leadership to this defense. I think the defense really does lack leadership, you know, without Marvin Overshown being out there. I don't think there's been too many people that done stepped up. You would hope that some of the veteran players in Micah's absence would, you know, step into that leadership role. And you know, it was really reported really by Shotty. He said he got to ask folks to talk and speak up. I don't think none of them niggas done took over that leadership role like that. Honestly, if you gotta ask folks to talk, communication ruled the nation last time I heard. God damn. He said they killing Dallas in commercials. They said mermaids exist. Dallas defense don't. Oof. Mr. 72 Chevelle. Oh, you got that motherfucker over there. You got the Chevelle, man. He said needs help in the middle. Yep. Clark been getting his ass whooped too. I ain't gonna hold you. These last couple weeks has not been the best, you know, the best showing by Clark. But he by himself. Like I'll be 1,000 with you. I might have been wrong in pushing for Osa to get paid. I might have been wrong because I stood on the table for the man. I like, listen, his sack production is up there, his pressure production is up there. You know, he do all these good things. Wooty woo. I might have jumped the gun on my nigga. And maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong to push for that man to get paid. Because he ain't did shit this year. He ain't did a damn thing this year. So maybe I was wrong in pushing for Osa to get paid. Because I can't really say he done anything this year to show that he had earned it. To show that was warranted. You know what I mean? I'm being 1,000. Y'all know I rock with Osa. But I do not think he's played up to his contract. I agree with Clowney. Because there are teams with less talent performing better than us. We're the worst defense in the league. The worst defense. That should not be the case. See, Star, that's why folks rock with us. We keep it real. Star said paying Osa was a mistake, and I pushed to sign him as well. I pushed to sign the man as well. Because at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. He was getting pressures out the ass. He was getting sacks. He was disruptive. I don't know what happened. And to Queso's point, maybe it's the scheme. Maybe it is the scheme. But, you know, right now, see, JV said that he felt that Osa could have been an all-pro this season. You're not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. We'll see, because it's very hard. It's very hard to gauge, you know, how good your corners are when they gotta cover all day. If the opposing team can hold on to the football and you know, bake a cake and fix a sandwich back there, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a long ass day for your cornerbacks. It'll be a long ass day for your cornerbacks. So it's hard for me to say what Osa is right now, because the pass rush is so bad. Like if you give any NFL caliber quarterback a clean pocket and all day to throw, they are going to tear you up. They're going to kill you. And that's the issue. You have no pass rush. The quarterbacks are back there comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're back there comfortable. They have no concerns or worries about getting sacked or getting hit. They're in rhythm. So I'm not really sure what the cornerbacks can do. I'm not sure what the corners can do. Now, moving along to another team, with some interesting pieces that can get moved. The Titans might be in a fire sale as well. They won one game. They need more around their young quarterback. So they might dismantle, some of these, some components on that defense or some of the older players on that offense. Calvin Ridley. We're not in the market for a wide receiver right now, but Calvin Ridley is somebody that's on the trade block. Arden Key, pass rusher, on the trade block. Guard, Kevin Zeitler, is on the trade block. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't really give a damn about none of these motherfuckers except for T'Vondre Sweat. Like T'Vondre Sweat, I am trading for immediately. Like I just think he's such a good talent. I liked him coming out of Texas. Oh, the boy is almost 370 pounds. Like he's almost 370 pounds. He was one of the highest graded run defenders in the National Football League last year. Do you know how rare that is to be one of the best run stoppers in the league as a rookie? That shit is rare. That shit does not happen. I don't give a damn if there's off-field issues. I don't give a damn if there's character issues. I don't give a fuck, what's going on behind the scenes and why they're thinking about trading, a guy that just got here last year. I don't give a fuck. I am Team Werewolf. I don't give a fuck if he beat up the head coach. I don't give a fuck if he got his teammate old lady pregnant. I don't give a fuck. He would come in here and immediately be a building block and a pillar for this defense for the next 10 years. Because he got the rest of this year's 2 years left on his rookie deal, and he's so goddamn good, you need to extend him. The moment he becomes eligible, extend him. I'm very high on T'Vondre Sweat. So I don't give a fuck what's going on and why they thinking about moving him. No, the right kind of guys is motherfuckers that make plays. That's the right kind of guys for me. Look at Mel though, because you 1,000% correct. Folks get hung up about character and everything, right? Let's keep it 1,000. When we was winning championships, we had all kinds of fucking characters out this bitch, man. We had all kind of characters. Them motherfuckers had a house just for snorting coke and fucking bitches called the White House. 88 stabbed his teammate in the fucking neck behind a haircut. Could have killed this nigga behind a haircut. Stabbed him up. Nobody said shit. Charles Haley out there bitch throwing helmets at Jerry Jones and shit. We gotta keep it 1,000, man. We had some fucking dogs. I don't want the right kind of guy. The right kind of guy is the motherfucker that make plays, man. And that's the problem right now, man. They want to win with Boy Scouts. You don't win war with Boy Scouts, man. You need a motherfucker to go in there and cut everybody's throat while they sleeping, nigga. That's how you win a fucking war. I want a motherfucker. Anyway, it's Sunday. I gotta calm down. Boy, drug smuggling, assault, cocaine use. They were fucking prostitutes. All kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Facts. You know what? You are right. The front office want the right kind of guys. Shotty likes the thugs. Shotty like the gangsters. Shotty like the young niggas. I agree with y'all. We ain't have a whole bunch of Boy Scouts, man. We ain't have a whole bunch of Boy Scouts when we won no championship. And we need to get back to that. You right. I'm sorry. I flashed out a little bit. But I care. I just care, man. I want this team to compete. I want this team to win. I want this team to do great things, man. But if sometimes I feel like I care more than the Jerry Jones and them do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I care more than the front office. Willie, they should have let him pick his own DC. Brian, you better talk. 2 former players caught smuggling drugs. One of them is employed by the Cowboys still. Said Greg Hardy. Yep. But when you talk about all the guys that got a little bit of metal to them, they got a little bit of teeth. Shotty push for George Pickens. Shotty push for Tyler Booker. Shotty push for Perion Winfrey. So I tell you what, the guys that got the guy that do got a little bit of an edge to him on this team, like Shotty got his fingerprints on him. Javonte Williams, you know, Shotty said it was me. I did that. I pushed for Javonte. Shotty said that vocally. So like the hard working, you know, hard-nosed motherfucker with some grit that's on this team that got some teeth, Shotty has been the one that pushed for him. So I'll say that, you know, based on the information I have and based on my memory. I can agree with that. She said, if these motherfuckers don't want to bring the heat on the field, they need to put a flower in their head and move the fuck on. Shit, I feel that. I damn sure feel that. Now I think we touched on this slightly. Jalen Phillips is the biggest name on here. That's the guy that's most likely to be moved at the deadline, according to reports from the Dolphins. Bradley Chubb is also a possibility. Matt Judon is cooked. Matt Judon does not need to be a Dallas Cowboy. Matt Judon needs to retire and spend time with his family. That's what Matt Judon needs to do. Mika Fitzpatrick, are we willing to listen? I heard that they're willing to listen to offers for Jalen Waddle, but it had to be an extreme offer. I think they want a first-round pick for Jalen Waddle. I mean, we got first-round picks, but I wouldn't move one right now with the way this defense is. Like, maybe you could. I don't know. There's too much going on. I don't think it's even feasible to trade for Jalen Waddle. And then Jalen Wright, he's a solid running back, but, you know, it just depends on what they want for him. If they want like a 6th-round pick or a 7, I'd trade him. But I'd be interested in Minka. I'd be interested in Jalen. I'd be interested in Bradley Chubb. But it had to be for the right price. Jalen Phillips for a 3rd-round pick seems a little rich. Jalen Phillips seems a little rich for a 3rd. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got no damn 3rd. We do not have a 3rd-round pick. So, you know, that's neither here nor there. Why not A-Chain? I would. I bring back A-Chain. I trade for A-Chain. I don't think anything wrong with getting A-Chain. But, you know, I just don't think they're going to move A-Chain. Like, I'd be willing to, but, you know, I don't know if they're going to move A-Chain. I don't know if they want to move A-Chain. Because every time they talk about people that's available, you know what I'm saying, they never mention his name. Sure they want physical bags. That's true. He was the main one said he wanted big bags. Mika would be nice. I agree with y'all. But look, I wanted to give y'all a quick show. Talk about some potential trade candidates. But I want y'all to go and enjoy football, man. You got a whole Sunday of stress-free football. The Dallas Cowboys will not be there to run your blood pressure up. So I want all y'all to go watch football. Because that's what the fuck I'm finna do. I'm finna get off the show. I'm finna go sit in front of the TV. I'm finna go hate watch some NFC teams and hope that they lose to make our path a little bit easier. And then I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray to God Almighty that the Dallas Cowboys get a W tomorrow. Because Lord knows our season depends on it. But man, it's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for sliding in. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the love. On the way out, hit the like button. On the way out, hit the share button. On the way out, hit the Cash App or the Super Chat because you know that we po at Eat Fugazio's in the liquor store. And in the words of my brother West Coast Cowboy, never look down because the style is up. Peace.